The weather is warming up and so are our phones, literally. If you're not careful, leaving your phone out in the sun can cause it to overheat and that can cause damage. So how can you still enjoy your tech while being at the beach or on a hot sunny day like every day here? Here with some device tips is CNET Senior Editor Nick Wolny. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So it's not just overheating. Well, it is overheating. Is just overheating your cell phone, is it really that bad?
Well, I think what's important to remember with smartphones overheating and things like that, this is something that for us here in LA only happens at certain times of the year. I have two statistics to help ground our conversation. The first is that people are going to pay more for a smartphone now. We've got research that this year alone, the average price of a smartphone is about $790. That's up over $100 since last year. So the price is definitely going up as features get added. The other statistic is that smartphones are getting shipped less, 11% less year over year. So what that all means is that consumers aren't upgrading their smartphones as often, but they're spending more, they're investing more when they buy a smartphone. So we want to ensure that your smartphone lasts for a while and that you don't inadvertently fry your phone while you're just hanging out at the beach, or especially during this heat wave that's in LA this week.
And they've come up with new technology to help it resist water more. You would think that they would have done that for the heat too, but in the meantime, what should we know?
Well, some quick hot tips, no pun intended, but perhaps a pun intended, about these that are good for everyone to know about. Number one is that when you are outside, don't charge your phone while your phone is out in the heat. Charging your phone is going to actually heat up the battery quite a bit. If you're charging it while also using it, you may have even experienced that where you're charging your phone and you're using it at the same time, and it's like the phone's overheating. And it's like, wait, I'm inside. Charging your phone dramatically will increase the heat of the phone, so keep that in mind. Also, a great tip in general for charging year-round is that if you put your phone in airplane mode, then it will charge way faster. So it's going to help manage that heat, and it's also going to help your phone get up to speed much more quickly.
That's a very useful one in a crisis.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and even if your phone doesn't overheat, you know, if your phone gets too hot, eventually the CPU can melt completely, and that's where you get like a situation where your phone doesn't turn back on after a day at the beach. That's never fun. But I think that it's good to keep in mind that even a little bit of overheating can burn down your battery way faster. So if you're at the beach for the day, or if you're out and about for the day, you know, if your battery completely runs down after a few hours and your phone was going to be your map for how to drive back home, you know, you're thinking about that as well. Yeah, more and more we rely on our phones for all of these different utilities and things like that. So,
and you have a couple tips for us to know year-round, some hacks, let's say.
Yeah, well, I think that it's good to know that your phone's brightness has a really big impact on battery usage. So you can just bring down that brightness. You can also keep your apps updated on your phone. That's going to be something that helps when apps are being updated by the software providers. It's not just to patch bugs, it's also to help the app run more efficiently on your device so that you're not using your device as much. So clear out those apps when you're not using them in the background as well. And then I just can't say enough about airplane mode and having that be a way to really keep your phone under control, to help it charge quickly. The last thing I'll say, we just mentioned earlier about waterproofing. If your phone is overheating, you're getting that overheating notification. Some people like to put their phone into the fridge or the freezer to cool it down. Don't do that. And the reason for that is that condensation can develop on those chips, on the CPU. We just talked about how phones have gotten more waterproof over the years. Well, if condensation develops inside the phone, there's no way out, and that water damage, you actually ironically will get the water damage from your phone not even being in water. So that's something to keep in mind too, is that if it is overheating, just give it a break, just take it out of the heat, and that's going to really help you extend the longevity of your device over time.
All right, Nick, thank you. All super useful tips. Appreciate it. And you can find out more about CNET by going to kcalnews.com and clicking Seen on TV.